Warning: this podcast may be disturbing to some listeners. Due to the graphic nature, listener discretion is advised.
Keep the demon inside me. Keep the demon inside me. Keep the demon inside me.
Welcome from wherever you are. This is The Demon Inside with your host, John Venom. If you want to review a different episode of The Demon Inside, you can find them on Spotify or Anchor. And don't forget to subscribe to this podcast. A new episode will come out every Monday. And now, to our show.
Keep the demon inside me.
We'll be right back after these messages from our sponsors. Welcome back to The Demon Inside.
Leads us to our big story here at 6. We now know the names of the 4 teenagers and 1 woman killed yesterday near 12th and Locust.
Us live, and Angie, the victims' relatives, they want answers, but they also want the public to realize there are 2 families in mourning here.
Absolutely, guys. We spoke with the family of the eldest victim in yesterday's shooting. They tell us that she had an on-again, off-again relationship with the suspect now in police custody. They also tell us that one of the victims was the son they shared. Johnny Hall says his life has forever changed.
My sister was Teresa Thomas. My nephew was Demetrius Thomas. My niece was Tierra, and I'm distraught. I need to know what's going on. I'm confused. I'm trying to figure out how you killed 5 people.
Hall says he had to identify his sister to authorities as 41-year-old Teresa Thomas. She was one of 5 people killed in a fatal shooting on Monday at her home near 12th and Locust. Hall says she died along with her son, 14-year-old Demetrius Thomas, and daughter, 16-year-old Tierra Agee. Her family shared these images with Fox 6. They say the suspect arrested by police is 43-year-old Christopher Stokes. One of the victims was the son he shared with Thomas.
Chris was part of our family.
Relatives on Tuesday say Stokes and Teresa had an on-again, off-again relationship. Stokes had once broken Teresa's arm. Family feels she may have wanted to leave him.
He killed his son, his own son.
They say Teresa's 2-year-old grandchild was spared in the shooting and that he was found covered in blood.
There's 2 families involved in this.
Authorities have identified the other 2 victims as 19-year-old Marcus G. Stokes and 17-year-old Lakeitha Stokes. Relatives say despite what's happened, there are 2 families in mourning.
These families, known each other for years. So we got to grieve together. We got to come together as one.
It's important to note the suspect has not been identified by police and he has not been formally charged. Johnny has started a GoFundMe to help raise funds to bury his sister, his niece, and his nephew. We have a link to that at fox6now.com. This remains an ongoing investigation. Live in Milwaukee, Angelica Sanchez, Fox 6 News.
And a tragic one. Angie, thank you.
Christopher Stokes, 44, pleaded guilty to 5 counts of intentional homicide. According to the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, on April 27, 2020, Stokes called 911 and told dispatchers that he killed his whole family. I've tried to find these 2 911 calls because he did call them twice, but I have been unsuccessful in finding either one. But this is what he said on those 911 calls, according to Fox 6. I just massacred my whole family, Stokes said on the 911 call. The gun is still upstairs with the bodies. In a second 911 call, he told dispatchers that he just killed my whole family with my Mossberg shotgun. The victims of the shooting included his on and off again girlfriend Teresa Thomas, 41, their son Demetrius Thomas, 15, and Teresa's daughter Tierra Agee, 16, and Stokes' niece Lakeitha, Stokes, 17, and his nephew Marcus Stokes, 18. When police arrived, the suspect was sitting outside with the only survivor, Teresa's 3-year-old grandchild. One of the arriving officers asked Christopher if he'd heard any of the shots. He said, "Yeah, I didn't hear them. I did them." He was then taken into custody, but the victims were not just shot as he stated on 911. The niece, Lakeitha Stokes, 17, was beaten and stabbed in the neck several times. Her skull was fractured. Marcus Stokes, his nephew, and his stepdaughter, Tiara Aggie, were also stabbed and beaten, as well as shot 3 times with the shotgun. His girlfriend, Teresa, was shot once, and his son, Demetrius, was shot twice. The only survivor was a grandson, who said, and I quote, "Pimp, don't hurt me." The grandson wouldn't call him grandfather because Christopher thought he was too young to be a grandfather, so he called him Pimp. The grandson saw the whole thing. He was so close that Christopher Stokes had to wash the blood off of him when he was done. Christopher Stokes wasn't the most innocent person. He had been arrested several times for aggravated assault, domestic abuse. He had jumped bail a couple of times. So this wasn't the saint. This was an actual guy that had his hand in the criminal foreground for some time. He acknowledged that he did have anger problems. So on March of 2020, he tried to get help from the Bread of Healing. He was asking for help for his anger and also voices he was hearing. But because of the pandemic, he had stopped going. Christopher Stokes was allowed to address the court. During his hearing, he said that he didn't know why he killed his family. He said there was no reason, no justice, no just cause for it. So I'm going to play you what he said during court.
I'm not, start from the beginning, I'm not asking for leniency or mercy or anything like that. What I did, and no excuses for, I don't know what in the world came over me. I can't take back time, and if someone would have told me that I'd be sitting here killing 5 people, I'd laugh them out like, nah, especially them 5. I never meant to hurt them. I don't know what in the world came over me. I woke up and I just had blood on my mind. I can't say it no other way. Something just wasn't going right. It was, I don't know. All I know is every day I pray and I say my prayers and ask for forgiveness. I know I hurt my mom, my sisters, my daughter. I hurt her the most. My sister Lily, I should never done that to her, take her babies from her. Angel, I took her brothers and sisters, her mom. I don't know what came over me. You can't give me enough time. I deserve every day you give me. I said to myself, think about what I did and it's like, why? I keep asking myself that, why? I don't know. hope one day they'll forgive me. And I hope one day in time I see TM again and hope they take my apology. I deserve everything I get. I'm not asking for no leniency or anything like that. I deserve it because I shouldn't, nowhere in the world should have done what I did. I said to myself every day, and I try to think like, why? We wasn't going through nothing. They says right there, ladies be at the house all the time. My daughter, we wasn't going through no more than an argument, normal arguments, stuff like that. For something to make me snap like that, it just wasn't right, you know. She didn't deserve it. The kids didn't deserve it. None of them deserved what I did. So I don't want to take too much more of the court's time, but I don't know what made me do it. And I'm sorry. I never tried to beat it or get it. The reality is, I can't take it back. No matter how many times I apologize, I can't bring it back. I did the ultimate sin. I didn't shoot them once, I shot them multiple times. So I had a lot of hate in me. I deserve to be locked up. That's it.
We'll be right back after a few words from our sponsors. Welcome back to The Demon Inside. So usually when I try to find the 911 call, and in this case I couldn't find it, that's why I'm putting out Christopher Stokes' statement. But I also wanted to put his sister's statement to him. And this is that statement.
Hi, my name is Laney Stokes. I'm Christopher Stokes' sister, mother, and thoughtfully best friend. But I guess when he decided to do all this stuff, about a month or two before all this even happened, I talked to him. I'm like, Chris, there's something wrong with you. Talk to me. Tell me. I will always be there for you. But you didn't. You just said you didn't want to talk to me no more. You ain't had nothing to do with me. Is this why you told me that? This what you had planned all the time? To take my babies away from me? How could you do this to somebody you say you love? I was always there for you, always been there for you. How could you do this to me? Out of all people, Chris, me. You've been there through all my kids. You've been through that with me for everything. And then you turn around and take it away from me? Your mom sitting out there. Mom is sick. Ain't know you got her worried about you. I need you to say something to me, Chris. Please, I don't care what it is. Just say something.
I'm sorry, baby.
Up. Say something. Why? Why? Why, Chris? Why?
So this was a sister of the suspect, or the actual guy, Christopher Stokes. And I wanted to put it in here because that is the most strongest woman I've ever heard in my life. She's so torn between this man who killed her kids, but also that it's her brother. In one, she loves him. In the other, she hates him. And it's tearing her apart. And for me, this is incredible, because nobody knows how this lady feels. Now, there was another spokesperson from the family that came on, and I'm a little bit more on her speed. And I'm just throwing this in there because I love this lady. I'm not sure exactly who it is, but I know she's related to the family. But I figure every now and again I gotta throw something in that's gonna make you smile. And this one actually put a smile on my face. Take a listen.
For the record, I really ain't got much to say besides you was a bitch. Everything about you was bitch made. And you bogus as fuck. Instead of you sitting right here, you should have died. You should have killed yourself. I mean, what was the point? My life no better. At all. You a heartless bitch. A heartless bitch. Pointless as fuck. Then you sitting here just looking how the fuck you looking. Looking stupid, cause you're a bitch. Okay, well I'm done, cause he another bitch. That's all I want to
say. So this is the part of the show again where I do the logical, medical, and spiritual. So for me, the logical is there is no logical way to harm your family to the point where you kill them. If it was in self-defense, I would understand. But the kids were trying to get away. The nephew was actually at the window trying to jump out when he was shot. There's nothing logical about this. The medical, of course, will go back into, let's say it was depression or anger, because I know somewhere I read that he was upset of how people were treating him in the family and that they were making fun of him. But even if he had schizophrenia or depression or bipolar, a lot of people have that and they don't choose to kill their whole family. Because this, to me, is the same as Ronald DeFeo. It seems like where he started, he just couldn't stop. And from the beginning, he shot his nephew first and his niece and stabbed her in the throat and stabbed him in the throat. So I'm assuming that they were the ones that were making him upset and he wanted to shut them up, but he couldn't stop himself. Now, this is all just from my belief because there really isn't that much information. There's no psychological eval or anything. So we go into the spiritual. And the spiritual, well, I started looking up, and what I end up doing is I try to find the way people are killed, and then I look up demons that kill in a similar fashion. And what I found was an article. And so I want to read you this article that says, the title of it is Exorcist Says There's a Demon That Targets Families. So this comes from Rome, Italy on October 25th of 2017. There's a demon that specializes in attacking the family, said exorcist Cesare Trucui, a priest who participated in a 2015 course on exorcism held in Rome. Father Trucui warned that everything that is harming the family, including divorce, pleases the devil. Speaking to the Italian Weekly, Tempi in 2015, the priest said that there is a demon who specializes in the attack on the family. Also cited in the story of Tobias. Now the demon's name is Asmodeus. In the Old Testament book, the demon is known to have killed 7 of Sarah's husbands and was chained in the desert by Saint Raphael. The demon is present in many exorcisms, Father Trucui said. The demon, Asmodeus, was named as a fallen angel of the Order of Thrones by Gregory the Great. Asmodeus was cited by the nuns of Loudun in the Loudun possessions of 1634. Asmodeus' reputation as a personification of lust continued until later writings, as he was known as the Prince of Lechery in the 16th century Romance Friar Rush. The French Benedictine Augustine Calmet equated his name with a fine dress. The 16th century Dutch demonologist Johann Weir described him as the banker at the baccarat table in hell, and overseer of earthly gambling houses. So the question comes down to this. Was Christopher Stokes possessed by a demon? Was Ronald DeFeo possessed by a demon? Did this one demon have them both kill their families? I think that the demon did kill the DeFeos and the Stokes family, as well as others. There's so many others like John List that are similar, and then just with families alone, you have so many other people that kill their kids, their wives, their husbands. And whether or not we believe or not, we need to know that everyone has to be aware that there might be danger lurking within, not just outside, but inside your home, inside your family. What we do for our family, the demons like to trick us and have us face, get angry with, and kill our families, because for them it's fun. So thank you for listening, and we'll see you next week. Don't forget to subscribe to The Demon Inside on Spotify, Anchor, or any other podcast directory, or through our website, anchor.fm/The Demon Inside. A new episode of The Demon Inside comes out each Monday. Let us know what you think and join the conversation on our Demon Inside Facebook page and on Instagram. We thank you for listening and hope you'll join me next Monday for a new Demon Inside. If you enjoyed this episode, tell your friends. I'm John Venom. We'll see you next time, if I don't get possessed. The Demon Inside was created and written by James Porter. It's a production of Venomous Entertainment. Theme music, Demon Inside, is on the album Conjure One by Reese Fulber. Background music was created by Lucas King.